So many health coaches aspire to be a six-figure health coach, but they often think that it's not even possible. And today we're going to dive deep into an incredible, heart-centered health six-figure health coach who is truly making a difference and embodies everything that I meant when I said and when I wrote six-figure health coach. It's not about just, making more money. It's about really making a sustainable, soul satisfying difference. So, all the way from Argentina, please welcome Martita. Welcome, Martita.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shaunna.
It has been an incredible joy to see you blossom and your business and practice evolve over the years. And now, like people coming in to the Health Professional Academy behind you, you've become sort of a legend, a mythical feature, really, where people go, "Is that even possible?" But they didn't
I am
see where
real.
I know you're real. It really is true. And they didn't see you at the beginning. And so, yes, you made 140,000 in your first year. And so we're going to dive into where were you before and just let them know where you were starting from because they sometimes they make up stories that it was easy for you or you didn't have any challenges going on and that's why you were able to do this. So take us back to before you joined us at the Health Professional Academy. Where were you? And let's go from there.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I was just arrived in Canada, and it was in the beginning of the pandemic,
Yeah.
or like in the middle, and I had already quit my scientific practices and academia and all that. I am a biologist. I have a PhD in biology also, but yeah, I was already helping people to recover from autoimmune conditions and inflammatory conditions, as I was learning for me because I came from there from five I to autoimmune conditions, and I've been symptoms free 14 years now, or 15. So but I was like a mess. I was just helping people, helping everybody, and I was in Canada working as a babysitter, like just to have a living in Canada. It's beginning starting. Yeah, the beginning of the work permit and all that visa. So yeah, but I wanted to help people. I love people, so I got the certification of IIN as a health coach, and then I met you, and when I was like overwhelmed by everything, just divorced in Canada, I stay in the I end staying alone there in Canada. So I met you in that moment. I saw an ad from you that you were helping health coaches to create their practice, and I felt it in my heart, like
Yeah.
I need to speak with her. I need help from her because I also didn't know how things worked in North America. So it was also like a cultural thing for me.
Mhm.
Like I didn't know how to do things there, and I didn't know anybody. So yeah, that helped me a lot, and yeah, and I felt it. I always loved your smile and your energy and your enthusiasm for life and for helping others, and that is very authentic from you and genuine. So yeah, I felt it like true. You really have this mission, and I can tell it, and you are doing it great. I have also seen you grow a lot
Yeah.
these last 3 years, and you have
Yeah.
changed a lot.
Yeah.
And you are always evolving and learning things. You are always studying. You are always doing it for yourself too. So
Yes.
that is that is very important,
Yeah.
I have to say. So yeah, I was in that condition, and I remember you told me you are like a gem, but you need to, how do you say in English? You need to pull it, like, yeah. And yeah, you trusted in me in the first place, and that was very important for me.
Yes.
You gave me that confidence in myself, and yeah, and then we started, and I started like putting order and trusting in myself, and letting go a lot of limiting beliefs of money, scarcity, the price, my niche,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
no, I need to help everybody, and a lot of things you help me or to let go, and you expanded my consciousness a lot in that sense. So yeah, and you helped me to start being my true self also.
Yes. I love meeting health coaches literally from around the globe. We've helped people from over 50 countries. I've lost track now. And it's such a joy to see and to blend cultures and to allow them to bring that to the table. So that unique signature, your unique gifts, it's like all of what you've lived and gone through has been for this moment now. And so now, how can we alchemize often a lot of pain that we've gone through into purpose so that you can have that purpose driven business of your dreams, make a meaningful, as I call it, soul satisfying difference. And so when you came, you're right. Like, so coming from Argentina, the currency's different. And now you're in Canada, you're working as a babysitter. So it's not like you had like this high paying job or anything like that.
No.
But a
I
desire
was
in your,
surviving. Yeah.
yeah, like it was lean years then. And but you had this desire in your heart to help others.
Mhm.
Before we dive into like, okay, what had you actually say, okay, I got to do this? Just give people a little bit of a glimpse into your autoimmune conditions, because there's autoimmune and then there's autoimmune, and like you nearly died a couple of times and were paralyzed for a year and a half. And so
Yeah.
before everybody said, well, it was easy for her. And I hear that all the time. They assume things and no, like it, and so that also was the part of I always say all of that crap you go through is good fertilizer for your dreams. So like all of that stuff that you went through is is a
Mhm.
fertilizer. And sometimes the hardest stories, and if you're listening in now and you're in that hard story, my heart goes out to you. Martita's been there. I've been there. As you hear more about my story, you'll know I'm no stranger to those hardships and those heartbreaks. I know them well myself, but there is a purpose in it, and in finding the purpose in it, that in itself is healing. And so, and now when I find myself in something that is challenging, I'm like, ooh, this is going to help so many people. Like as I navigate this next level, I'm doing that right now, like literally today. I'm doing that. I'm taking myself to that next level, growing outside of my familiar
Wow.
zone. Yes, and I was just saying to you, Martina, like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so great to be able to offer this to health coaches as I figure it out and make it easier and easier. So tell us a little bit about the autoimmune conditions and the specific scenario, before, and why you even wanted to help people with autoimmune.
I was about to get my degree in biology, and then I started having these symptoms, and in a 6 month range of time, I got paralyzed like for a year and a half. And the diseases that I had were dermatomyositis, vasculitis, um, antiphospholipid syndrome, Raynaud syndrome,
Mhm.
and another one that I don't know how to say it in English. It was not very hard, the last one,
Yeah,
but yeah, the first two were like they are not very common,
yeah,
and this was like 20 years ago.
yeah,
So
yeah,
there was like nothing alternative or nutrition or anything that we know now about how to heal these conditions. So I went through all the medications and chemotherapy, a lot of drugs, and yeah, they destroyed me too. So
yeah.
yeah, I was about to die 3 times. The third one was like near death experience that
Hmm.
it changed my perspective, and I felt so much joy and bliss there in that experience. So yeah, then I started when I came back, I like had like a certainty that I needed to quit medication and try to heal myself from other ways.
Yes.
And I didn't have like a plan B. At that moment. I didn't know anything. So I was 23. So yeah, and um 10 days after the decision that I made, someone called my mom and told her that there was like a shaman in the north of Argentina that was healing people with nutrition and fasting and herbs and plants.
Yeah.
And I went to him, and I started healing naturally with
Yeah.
him. And yeah, since then, been symptoms free 15 years. And since I healed, and my the regeneration from my body was like wow for
Yes.
people that were
Yeah.
surrounding
Yeah.
me. And like in my city, they were like, wow, how,
Yeah.
how is she like this now? So a lot of people started like asking me for help. I didn't know that I was able to help other people, but I saw a lot of people suffering and in a lot of bad conditions and dealing with medications and the side effects of medications, and it is awful. And I started just helping with the things that I was learning for myself.
Hmm.
And there was a point like 10 years after that, I decided like to quit the academic science and my work in the university. And yeah, like
So you can see the passion, and once you've come through something like that, your heart goes out to help somebody else
yes,
have an
you
easier.
cannot do it.
And for me, even, one of the biggest struggles for me was uh trying to become a successful health coach, leaving my medical career of 25 years to
Yeah.
become a health coach. That was a horrible journey. I'd gone from,
Very hard.
making $1 million as a radiologist to not being able to afford toilet paper. And I would not wish that journey on anyone. However, because I experienced all of the alls of everything and tried everything to get there, now I can help guide people through the maze so much easier because you tried you had the medications and the chemo and all of these things, and then all of the natural things. You have a better perspective. What works, what doesn't work. Let's put things in perspective. And then you learn and you're like, okay, we can make it a lot easier for people. They didn't need to do all of that. I didn't need to go through that, but I didn't know. And so that saves you a lot. And so when you quit your career as a biologist or your PhD, you've gone to IN. This is your calling. This is what you're meant to do, and you're helping people with autoimmune conditions. Um, was that going? Like, were you charging them? Did you have a whole bunch of clients? Were you burning out because there was too many? Was it for free? How was there a structure in place? Tell me a little bit about that, because we hadn't got to the point we could quit our day job, which was babysitting, yet. And so tell me a little bit about like that scenario of, because I think that's the struggle that a lot of health coaches find themselves in. They know a
Yeah.
lot about this, but then how do they actually help someone with it?
I was kind of frustrated because I was trying to help everybody,
Hmm.
charging very low, and they were like not having results because
Hmm.
they weren't committing.
Yeah.
And I couldn't shake them to commit more,
Yeah.
right? And I thought it was like explaining more and giving more
Hmm.
for them to commit. And I was really frustrated because I knew they could heal. And in that sense, I was already having like a significant amount of clients that were following me,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was not having a good time doing that. And like, how can I do this better for them to take it this seriously and to heal? and
Yes.
then you and then you like order my everything, and explain me everything, and and you told me you need to charge more, and I was like, no, my god, how I am going to charge more? And it was perfect. That part significantly changed the commitment of the people to with themselves, not
Yeah.
even with me. It is with
Yes.
themselves.
Yes.
So that changed a lot my mindset, absolutely, about money. Even myself, I started investing a lot of money in myself, in
Yes.
my education with you. and
Yes.
and and also this is the way,
Yes.
like investing in myself. And
Yeah.
it's a way of loving yourself, and
Yes.
and like telling myself I am worth it and I
Hmm.
can do it. And
Yes.
it's very nurturing.
And let's put some numbers to that too, because even when you charged more, it wasn't like a lot of people will think, oh, well, oh, that's what you have to do is charge a lot. And there's a
No,
really good chance
not a
that
lot.
you're already charging that amount and thinking it's low. It's about how we structure it, because a lot of people are
Mhm.
taught out there to charge per session or by the hour. And then we're helping people with however many sessions they can afford. They can afford this many sessions and they're one off. And the real message that I want to get out there is coaching is not crisis hotline. That's not what we
Mhm.
do. That's what the medical system is for, and that's acute care crisis management. Instead, we want to restructure and get rid of that old model that is taught, and it's everywhere. We speak to thousands of people, like everybody, that's what they're doing, and that's why they're either broke or burnt out. And
Mhm.
neither of those is good for anybody. But instead, when we restructure it and charge for excellent results, and so then it's actually cheaper for the person because the person who paid a little bit but got no results, they're continually paying a little bit for nothing
Everywhere. Yeah.
for nothing. And they're costing their time and their money. And they're going to be spending that money anyways on
Yeah.
surgeries, medications, vacations to deal with the stress of
Yes.
things, divorce lawyers, whatever. They're spending the money on anyways. But wouldn't it be better to spend that and get excellent results that they're wanting? And that often saves them the cost of medication. They have more joy, et cetera, et cetera. Yes, it might cost them more because they might be living longer. Yes, but that and then is a win-win, and it's about restructuring it. And so a lot of times when I look at what are people charging, we're not actually charging anymore, per hour, if you will. It's but what the result is, what the focus is, we're getting to the root cause, and we're not loving and leaving them. We are following all the way through. And so, how much were you charging at the beginning when you were helping people here and there? Can you recall, like, about what was not very much?
In US dollars, it's because most of my clients were from Latin America, mostly
Yeah,
Argentinians.
yeah,
So it was like $15 a session,
yeah.
$20 a session.
Yes. So when she says she wasn't charging very much, 15, $20. And then the thing was people were not like following through. They weren't committed. And the amount they pay, the thing that we're not talking about charging like ridiculous
No,
amounts
no,
just
absolutely.
or that's not what we're talking about. But it has to it when you charge a certain amount, then that allows them to commit. There's other ways to have them commit. If they have a life-threatening illness, all of a sudden they're focusing. But
Yeah,
without the life-threatening illness or the high school reunion that's coming up in 3 weeks, without something like that, money is one of those ways that people will focus. So if they've invested in it, then uh, anything that costs less than whatever they invested is going to be put aside. And so if it's free, anything that costs more than free is what they're going to pay their attention to. And so then it's little league and this and that, and then they never focus, and then they don't get results. And then we have to really look in the mirror, because that's usually a people pleasing thing for us, and it's really selfish when we if I always say, if I could give it to you for free and it would work, I would, but it
yeah,
won't. And so we have to have that little bit of commitment so that they get great results. So free is actually expensive. And then, do you remember in those first clients that you had, when you earned, so you were charging 10, $15, so you had some people that were naturally attracted to your results, and so that's good, like, that's helpful, and you weren't but it wasn't enough for you to let go of the babysitting sitting position. Like, things were super like lean. Yeah.
yeah.
And then when we restructured things, so it wasn't just a price increase, it's a
Yeah.
restructure. It's a restructured business model. When we did that, do you remember, like, when what the average, signature program front client would pay at the beginning, how much you charged, that
At the
led to that
beginning,
140,000? Um,
800 for the 3 months
Yeah. So when
program.
she said she charged more, she's like 800 for 3 months. And
Yeah,
so,
no,
so
totally.
it was, yeah. So because sometimes people are thinking you're saying five or 10 or 20,000 or something like that. Yeah, sure. Charge 100,000. You only need one client, to make 100,000, but that's not realistic. And that's not actually going to be in reality. And so it's about finding that difference. Okay, so when we switched the business model, so we coned down the niche rather than trying to help anyone, we just focused on your unique zone of genius because there's not a lot of people in the world who know how to do or have been through what you've been through with, near death experiences and that level, or being paralyzed for a year and a half and then being able to get themselves out of that.
Mhm.
That's why I do this, because fortunately I didn't have to go through that journey that you, but I want you to get that message out there to the people who are where you were, struggling where you were, so we can minimize the needless, endless suffering that's out there. Okay, so we carved out your niche, created your signature program, your signature process, had a business model so that when you implement it, you'll reach that six figures. And you did that. So we did that before you joined the Health Professional Academy. So you're like, you got no money. And like a lot of times people are like, I can't afford this. The people that I would be helping can't afford this. So I guess I have to decline.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if what can you imagine if you'd have said, if you had not taken that? It's a bit of a leap of faith, but it's an educated leap of faith. You're like,
Yes.
I'm trusting my heart. Success leaves clues. What went through your head before you made that decision to like move forward? And like, what did you have to do in order to, make that decision to move forward?
Yeah, I really trusted in you that you told me, yeah, in 3 months you are going to be in another place.
Hmm.
And I felt it because one of the things that my diseases left on me was the connection with my body.
Hmm.
And I was like feeling it, and I said, yeah. And then I started selling a lot of things in order to pay for your program. And yeah, I sold some properties in Argentina that
Yeah.
they were very cheap for the price that you have in North America. But I felt like there is no other way. Like it's now or never. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to be like 10 years trying to figure out how to do this.
Hmm.
So yeah, you have already done it.
Yeah.
So and you are giving that to us like very condensed and very order. It's the same that I am doing with my clients now,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. And
So
it
yeah,
and it's who I invest. I mean, I just did another investment and I'm like, okay, they've done this piece. And I don't want to take another 10 years and I don't want it to cost another 100 grand trying to figure it out. I know, I don't want to pay the ignorance tax. They call it ignorance tax. And so I
that's the
know
same
if
too. Yeah,
if somebody else has done it, then it's going to be cheaper. And if just
yeah,
like, is it real? Have they done it? And is that end result what I want? Then, it's a yes. And then I know that I'll get my return on my investment. And it's just getting clear on what it is that you want. And so then you did that. Tell us about your practice. Well, tell us about your looking back, because was it 140,000 in the first year? Yeah. And were you burnt out? Were you like just going crazy? Like, is that what that was like? Or no, was it something different than
no,
that?
no, it was very. I really enjoyed it, and it was very fulfilling, and my heart was expanding, and things were like going very naturally.
Hmm.
Yeah, you always take care of of us, telling us, be good for you.
Yes.
So they never forget that I am the first one that must have a good time doing this.
Yes.
Otherwise, no.
Yeah.
The frequency is not the same. You are going not to attract or to people that are for you are not going to see you,
Yes.
right? So yeah,
Yeah.
and no, it was I didn't even notice that I had that money
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
when we analyzed the numbers. I was like, oh my god.
I have said that like so many of our six-figure health coaches did not know. We now have nice tracking sheets, but Oh, I don't think anybody that reached six figures knew they had it until we
No,
added up because you're
because
serving
you
and
are
you're
not focused
serving
on
and you're
that.
serving. We're not focused on that. That's not why we're in it. That's not why I'm doing this. And so when you're focused on serving, and there's a saying, you help enough people get what they want, you're gonna get what you want. And then we're giving from love, we're giving from an overflow.
Yes,
And like you were saying, one of my sayings, it's probably that one's probably someone else's saying, but it's a theme. Like your number one job is to feel good. And if you feel good, you're going in the right direction. And that's like you're getting closer and closer. And it feels really bad, then we're off. So this is not about hustle, 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 hustle. It's like that's not what we're talking about. It's like um being good for you. And so when you think back, what would you say is so somebody else is just like starting or they're struggling out there. What was one of the biggest aha moments that was different that allowed you to be a heart-centered, soul-satisfied, six-figure health coach, enjoying an incredible life, making an incredible difference in the world. What was one of the take-home messages from that first year? And we've been doing this for years, but from that first year, what was like that thing that was like, you know what, this was the biggest aha or thing that really was the unlock?
the love elevator,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
yeah, doing things from love and not from effort and pressure and being very demanding with myself, and I need to work hard, hard, hard to
yeah,
get things.
yes,
Like that was my mindset. The hardest you work, the more you are going to get, and
yes,
that's it.
yes.
So no, and really start trying this engineering of love,
Yes,
and how people say, I don't know, I listen to you, and I feel something,
yes,
and you give me peace, and that's it. That is
yes.
the
Yeah,
best marketing strategy. But
absolutely. When I started the Health Professional Academy, when I was starting to write Free to Heal, that was the first book. I remember I put sort of a vision board of where I wanted this to go um, for the reader and like what the help that I this would help. And at the beginning, I right up at the top, it was love is the way is the thing, and that is it. And I talk about I spilled my tea on it yesterday, so wouldn't you know? But the love elevator is at your practice. Everything you want is up here. And when we're coming from fear, and there's a lot of fearful external conditions, and when we try and wait for the external conditions, like Martita, if you'd have
yeah,
waited till you had money, you would have never been here, and you would have never got here. And so it's like we can't wait for the world to be better. And in order for us to feel better, it's an inside job, and success is something that you become and that you live into
yeah,
each and every day. Tell us a little bit
absolutely.
about your practice now and your life now. Where are you living? What has this allowed you to do? How many people have you helped? And who do you help? And just tell us a little bit about your practice now and what life looks like now for you.
Now I am back in Argentina, in the house of my dreams in the mountains, and all this came up after starting with you, and I could make my dreams true, like living here and working online from here from the mountains. Yeah, and now I have groups, monthly groups, one group per month. I do group coaching sessions, and my program is in groups, and 10 people per month. Sometimes they are 12.
Yeah,
And I try to open groups from January to October, and then November I usually give retreats and one-on-one things and meetings with people more in face. How to say
yeah,
that?
yes.
And yeah, I am doing great. People are still coming,
Yeah, I think you're booking
and
3 months out routinely, 2 or 3 months out routinely.
yeah,
Like you're
now
always sold out before the end. And in an economy, in a culture where they don't, it's not like the richest people that you are serving. And that is the other thing. Like I'll have people like, oh, well, the people where I live, and I'm like, that has nothing to do with it. If you're
yeah,
providing a result, that if you're providing a service, that is the that's all the more reason that you need to do this because they're spending money anyways and not getting a result. And if you can solve that problem for them, if you can help them with that, that's huge. That's money extremely well spent. And
Yeah.
and then it's a win-win because then they refer friends and then you and more
Yeah.
and more. And so
It
like
started working. Yeah.
yes.
Alone.
The other thing that I'll share, which is we get so used to it in our community at the Health Professional Academy and culture, but it is very foreign out there, is how you attract clients. And so, how much ad spend have you spent to help and have this multiple six-figure practice for years now? What is the cost of ad spend in order for you to attract those clients?
Zero.
When you guys were starting, or just before you started, the intention was I was going to teach you ads. We use ads, but with the great business models, and with the level of it's such a nice comfort income level. Like you have a sustainable business and a soul satisfying business, and it's so much less anxiety provoking and
Yeah.
time saving. So that it's time consuming to create ads. It's time consuming to hire someone to manage the ads. It takes money to manage the ads. And so that right there saves thousands of hours and dollars not having to do that. But then again, it comes from that crazy thing about love. It's like we're attracting people with love. We're giving value, real like value,
Yeah.
not like a just a well whatever. People have different definitions of what value is, but real value that is helpful for you, maybe not everybody, but for your ideal client. And you do a lot of interviews with other doctors and your
Yeah.
clients and things like that. How many people have you helped?
Counting this month now, 420 people.
Yeah, I mean, that's astounding. And can you imagine if at that day one you'd say, nah, let me wait until XYZ until I've done another certification. And let me wait until
Yeah.
I, you know, uh, magically, or I can't afford it. Yeah, that's the other thing. I can't afford it. And I know for you, Rachel was one of those, not everybody, but some people, they have their back up against the wall financially. And I remember Rachel said, I can't afford, she had 5 kids. So she's like, I can't afford the time or money to do this, but more importantly, I can't afford not to because we need to have an income
Totally.
generator and how else we need to have a container, a structure, the scaffolding, the systems in place so that you can operate and run your business and make that difference so that you can just kind of relax into it and do what you love to do, which is coach. And you've made just a uh phenomenal difference, and I just so commend you because it's about focus and it's about continually coming from love even though the world's upside down and sideways, and even though our personal world can be upside down and sideways. You've had
Absolutely.
roller coasters for
I
sure.
know.
Everybody, everybody
Yes.
has, right? And so, and that's called life here on Earth School. We're going to have that. That's not going to change, but it's a lot easier when you have the resources and you're doing meaningful work. It makes the whole process a lot more enjoyable. Anything that you want to share just in closing with people, any recommendations, any advice, or just any closing final thoughts?
This is like a self-development process.
Yeah.
As much as you develop yourself, everything starts happening. So it's about loving yourself, trusting in yourself, knowing yourself, finding yourself, and being in peace with yourself,
Mhm.
and everything takes its place.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Your business can only grow to the extent that you
Yeah.
do. It's just, and that's who we attract. It's, our sales process, our loving invitation process. We come from love. We get into the big love state, and then we notice that if we're not legit, we might have reasons why we're not, then it all just dries up. Or if we focused on just if we're getting into frustration or blame or victim mindset, we can't get there from there. You are making such an incredible difference. Really, we niche down, but you can help pretty much anyone with anything because at the root cause, it's all the same. And you know that and understand that clearly. And you speak both English and Spanish, and you have a global practice, a lot of people in Argentina, a lot in the Latin American community, but it extends beyond that. Um, if people are like resonating and they're like, oh, I think Martita is the real deal. She's done it for herself. She's done it for over 400 people, and she's got to be good. If people keep coming, how can they get in touch with you?
I am on Instagram, Martita dot and my last name AYUP Ayup, and mostly there. Then you can send me an email. There is my email there in my Instagram page, and I think there is also a WhatsApp number from my assistant. Yeah,
Yeah,
and yeah,
excellent.
that is the easiest way.
Easiest way is on Instagram. You'll find out a lot more. Is it mainly Spanish or English or a bit of both?
Mainly Spanish, yeah, mainly
Yeah,
Spanish.
yeah. But clearly you speak English
Yeah,
extremely
I can
well.
speak both.
Yes, yes,
It happened to me that I have some couples, a Latin woman with a North American guy, and they do my program together, and they have it both in English and in Spanish, and yeah,
yes. So you're making an incredible difference. I saw I
you too.
the one thing that I noticed is though I feel like a talent scout, and everybody has gifts, and but some people have some unique gifts that I'm like, we have to have more people know what you do and receive what you have to offer. And it's just, and I always say, I will believe in you before you believe in yourself. And I'm going to shine the light until you can see it, until you get a little bit closer that you can see it. And it's been an incredible, joyful experience on this end too. You embody exactly what I meant by a six-figure heart-centered health coach. And so keep shining your light. And thank all of you for listening. If you want, I'm going to pop a copy of Six Figure Health Coach. If you don't have this book yet, a free copy down in the link. And then if you're looking at how do I create a successful practice, I'm going to put that up here as to the 5 steps to create your soul satisfying health coaching practice. Thank you so much, Martita.
Thank you so much, my dear.